Hey there, YouTubers, Raven here. So today we'll be talking about The Legend of Korra, Episode 5, Book 3, entitled The Metal Clan. This did air with Episode 4 on Friday night. So I am recording these back to back. Okay. So the Metal Clan. Let's get right into this. When we first start off, we see Lin Beifong and Korra. Korra's playing catch with Naga, and Naga wants Lin to join in, but Lin's just a grumpy pants. She's always been kind of like hard to read, or I'm not really sure, but she's a cool character. So they get this information that there's an airbender in this city called Zaofu, or Zufu, or something. Zabufu. Anyways, so they go there against Lin's instructions. Lin does not want to go. She's like dead set against it. Don't go. I'd feel more comfortable if you came back with me to Republic City. Even though she's technically not allowed there anymore. Yeah. So, they go to Zofu or whatever, and they learn that Toph has gone in search of enlightenment. Yeah, I never really pictured Toph for the enlightenment search. She's just not one I'd pictured to go on an expedition to find enlightenment. She's more like, I kick your butt now, get your answers later. But if that's the way they went with it, I guess something had to happen in the time between series. Maybe they'll explain it in the comics, which I've yet to read, but I really want to. So yeah, she hasn't been seen since, so no one knows if she's still alive, because she's pretty old. I mean, Korra was shown in book 1, and she was old. So this is like, what, 70 years after the original series? So Toph has to be like 80 something, like 82, I don't know. How old was she? 10, 12, 11? I don't know. So, they get to Zofu, and Lin's like, don't tell anyone I'm here. I don't want blah, 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 blah. You find that airbender and we leave. And so, the airbender's mother wants to meet the Avatar before they let the Avatar meet the airbender. At this point, we still don't know who the airbender is, or whether it's male or female. All we know is that the airbender's mother wants to meet before we meet the airbender. And right away, you see a family resemblance, kind of, at least in the eyes, and a little bit in the hair, except for that has that little twerk that comes over here. But we find out that Suyin is Suyin Beifong. She is Lin's sister. And the room went quiet, because they didn't know Lin had a sister. They being Mako, Asami, Bolin, and Korra. So, they go and confront Lynn, that they left her on the ship, and then the two sisters bicker. We find out that they're only half-sisters, but that doesn't mean much. Sister is sister. I mean, really, if you're a sister, you're a sister. So they're bickering. They're like 50-something, and they're arguing about nothing. Well, maybe it's nothing. We don't really know, because Lynn's acting like a big douche. She's a giant dick this whole episode. But we after that we get to go around and meet Soo-Yin's kids. At least we get to meet 4 of them. There's a 5th one that we barely get to see later on in the episode, when we barely get to see her husband. But she has 5 kids. So we get to see the 2 youngest. They're playing a game that they created called Power Disc. And it kind of reminded me of a game that we saw somewhere. Like, it reminded me of some sort of game. Maybe it was the pro bending games in a way. Kind of, sort of, a little bit. Then we had that artsy one that made the thing that looked like a banana, as Bolin said. It looked like a banana, but he was like, it's representing like the harmonic convergence. It looked like a banana. Then we finally get to meet the Airbender, which happens to be Lynn's niece. That's right, Soo-Yin has a daughter. Only one daughter. 4 boys and 1 girl. That had to be fun. But I'm guessing she was born with no powers because... no bending abilities, I'm sorry. Because she's an airbender now. So there's an airbender in the Beifong family. Because that's not weird at all. Kind of makes you wonder who Soo-Yun's father was. Because we don't know who Soo-Yun's or Lynn's father was. Both of them had different dads, but we don't know who either of them are. We don't know if they're still alive, we don't know who they are, we don't know anything about them. So, they want to take Opal back. Opal is her name, the airbender. They want to take her back on the ship and go take her to Tenzin so that Tenzin can teach her. But Soo-Yun does not want this to happen. So, Korra has to stay and teach her there. So they stay, much to Lynn's constant berating of that decision. We find that Varric is back from last season when they're all eating dinner. I think it's dinner. And so we get to look forward to that. Varric, the betrayer, the the guy behind the movers, which are the movie things that Bolin made, or rather starred in. So we get that. Varric, and it's time to have a new leaf. Yeah, like I haven't heard that one a bajillion times. So I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop, because Soo-Yin seems to be giving everyone second chances. Apparently Zofu, or whatever the name of that city is, the Metal City, is, apparently it's a place of second chances. even for current, even for people who are currently wanted by a governmental body. Varric is still a he's still a criminal, and he's still wanted. He still needs to serve his time. So, they're harboring a fugitive. There's the word. He's still a fugitive. He's a fugitive. He ran from the law. So, he's back, but his little assistant girl wasn't there. So, maybe she's off doing his actual secret plan that he can defeat people. He's just evil. I don't like him. I don't want him back. But I'll do something interesting with the whole Metal City thing. So during all of this Metal City stuff, we get to see what's going on back at the home of Tenzin, where his family was left behind, where he left his wife, his sister, and his baby that was born recently, and his two other kids, Ikki, the girl, and Milo, the boy, that liked to fart in faces, or yeah. So they get to train the newbies that fled in from everywhere for a safe harbor for new airbenders. They get to train them until it's time to go to the Northern Air Temple and live with Tenzin and everything. So I'm wondering if they're just going to abandon that whole space right there and just live completely at the Northern Air Temple. They haven't really discussed that on the show yet. And there was this one airbender that showed up, this new airbender. He showed up, and we find out that he knows a lot about airbending. He's really good, too. So he couldn't have just started. He knew a lot about Guru whatever, and he was just too good. He obviously wanted to get close to the Avatar, so Kaya, Tenzin's sister, the waterbender, figures it out. It was Zahir the whole time. Zahir was trying to get close to the Avatar by being a new airbender, not knowing how to do it. So, yeah, Kaya and Zahir fight, and she loses and Zahir escapes. So, what's next in his grand scheme, because this part of it just got foiled? Because he doesn't know where the Avatar is, so he can't go on to his next thing. Then we get to see Opal and Lin having a moment, and Korra yells at Lin for being rude. And then Lin cries. It's a touching moment. Never seen Lin cry before. So she does have a heart. Okay, well, that's it for this episode. Like, comment, subscribe. Live long and prosper. Raven out.